3, where it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. And lean not to your own understanding, meaning that lean not to your own intelligence. Because our intelligence sometimes is contrary. God already says your ways are not my ways. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. What we think makes sense. What we think we have somewhere to bail us out. God is saying, no. I want you to really trust me. Not calling auntie and them because, we do it all the time. We say, okay, God, I'm going to pray, but I need to fall back on auntie and them. They got a little bit of money. Let me just call them too. You know what I'm saying? And is that really trusting God? Is that really putting your trust in God, or is that just saying, okay, well, I have a backup plan in case God don't come through? Come on. You know what I mean? So we have to be careful with that. If we're going to trust Him, put it all in there. Like, put it all on the table. Don't waste nothing. Don't just say, okay, God, this is it. I don't know how it's going to come out. I don't know how this is going to work. But I just believe you because you love me. You're not gonna let it fall. Because you love me. And that's how we have to trust Him. So when we get out of this particular scriptures, that was Luke chapter 16, for who didn't take notes. Luke chapter 16, verses 1 through 13. What does Jesus teach us about the property ownership? The master is the true owner of all the assets. So the master in this story was the one that owned this manager, or the manager was working for this master. And that's kind of like how God plays the role in our lives. He plays that role of, He owns it, but He's asking us to manage it. Okay? So the authority, the master's will is final, and his decisions determinative. And so, meaning that He is the one that is controlling everything. He's the one that is giving the instructions. He's the one that's telling us what we need to do. We don't want to fall on that, God, I'm not sure, or God, I got a question about it. Just manage what He's given you. And this is all areas of our lives, y'all. This is all areas. I know we get stuck on the money piece. I know we get stuck on, but all areas, anything that God blesses you with, we have to learn how to manage it well. If He's given you life, we have to learn how to manage that well. If He's given you kids, you got to learn how to manage that well. He's given you a job. You may not like the job, but He gave it to you. Manage it well. If He's giving you food on your table, say, okay, is this healthy for me? Is this not healthy for me? Manage it well. Everything that God has given you, we have to learn to manage it well. All right? Trust. The master has delegated to his servants significant financial assets and authority. You know, when God trusts us, God is not going to give us anything that He thinks that you're not going to be able to handle. So when God gives it to us, we have to understand that He gave it to us knowing that you should be able to handle this. I give you everything that you need to be able to manage this properly. Amen. Generosity. Generosity, although the expectation is not a reward, the owner graciously rewards the faithful effort. So this is what God does sometimes. When we find ourselves in a place of obedience, and when we find ourselves in a place of, doing things the right way. So, one of the things that me and my fiance were talking about the other day, when we went to the Ark. Yes. So we went there, and the focus has always been on Noah. Always been on Noah. And the great thing that he did. But she mentioned she mentioned that his wife had to have a significant part in this. And his wife is not even mentioned. His wife doesn't even have a name in the Bible. This is how insignificant it was played out to be. But when you think about this woman who had to stand by this man for 120 years, it took him 120 years to build this ark, had to stand by this man where everybody was talking about how crazy Noah was. Because he talking about rain, and they said, well, it ain't rain for years. You gotta be crazy. And here this man is working and working and working. This woman had to, number one, trust him that he's hearing from God. Number two, she had to look at him and saying, okay, he's dedicating his whole life into doing what he said God said to do. As a woman, to trust the man. You know what I'm saying? Your woman will agree. It's hard sometimes to trust a man when it don't make sense. It kind of don't make sense but she had to literally trust this man enough that a vision was coming through for 120 years. Think about what kind of woman this had to be. It's huge and significant. So sometimes we have to make sure that we are in a place that we are hearing from God properly. When God gives us something, we don't take it for granted. We don't just look at it as, oh, this is just something minor. God is trying to get his people to something major. And as he's doing that, we just need to continue to, whatever he gives us, manage it well. And then expectations. The master has specific expectations of the servants that are not easy, but they are fair. And they should not presume upon his grace by responding by being lazy or disobedient. Amen. This is where I think sometimes we mess up at. As stewards, we have to not be lazy about what God has given us. Not